Ooh, hello there, my fellow miners and crafters. GoodTimesWithScar here, and welcome back to the foolish worlds of FoolCraft. And we're here in the city of Maybe, in our definitely not a gun shop, behind our fake gun shop. And I've had a dilemma. I've had a very big dilemma. I have been trying to put my name of the shop up here on the sign, and I cannot fit it. I have tried everything. I have taken it down. I've redesigned it. It has been the biggest frustration. Help me. I spent about like an hour just constantly changing this design to try to fit in. This is the best I could do. I could get an S for the shop. That's it. So you know what I'm going to do at this point? I'm going to change the name. That's right. I'm going to change it to, I don't know, something shorter like Scar's Bang Bang Shop or something. I can't think of anything, but I'm going to definitely do something shorter because I really got frustrated. But I want to talk a couple little changes I have in the shop here. So if you remember, I want to do my silencer wall over here. Now, I wanted to do that in the last episode, but unfortunately we got a little crazy in the park and we just got chisel bitten and all that stuff. And all of a sudden the sun was gone. It was late at night and I'm like, oh gosh, I got to edit this video so I can get it out tomorrow. And plus there were fireworks. It was terrible. Anyway. We're definitely going to get to that. I promise. I just get really excited. You know, when we're about to like do a chisel and bit thing, chisel and bits takes a long time. So sometimes you start working on a project and you forget you're going to do a couple smaller things around the builds. So over here, you got these little papers, right? We got to come up with a pricing structure for our guns. So if you guys could help me determine how much you would charge for a gun, how much do you charge for a Chris Vector or I don't know, the big bang bangs at the top, whatever they are. So help me in the comments. Come up with a pricing structure for the gun. So say you have a 9mm over here and there's the Vector and then let's see, well, that's a bazooka, sniper rifle, things along those lines. So help me come up with a pricing structure for that. And of course, our ammunition is a subscription service. So once you've bought the subscription service, you can come back and refill at any time. So I think that's kind of amazing. So help me come up with a pricing structure for this also. And as for the rest of the shop, I'd like to add a little more life. And what I mean by that is, you know, just little things that you need as a person, you know, a garbage can to throw your garbage away, just things like that help add a little bit more atmosphere and life to a build. So I want to start, you know, adding little things around the shop, and I think that'll look really cool. And the same thing for out here. I think like garbage cans and things like that just make it look like a livable place. Like we have our poker table down at the end and things like that. So I think that'll look really nice. But thank you so much for the suggestions for this shop over here. I'm not sure it's even going to be a shop, but what it's going to be is just hopefully just something to enhance the city, because I don't think there is pizza in the game. That is right. From the comments, you guys said, Scar, you've got to build a pizzeria. And I just like went off into dreamland really and started thinking of chisel and bit pizzas. And it's just like, you combine my favorite mod, my favorite food together, and I'm just like lost in Wonderland. So yeah, I think that'll be really cool doing something like that in this room. So thank you so much for that suggestion. Now, one other thing that I got from the comments in the last episode that just blew my mind, and this came from Crimson. So thank you so much for this idea. And that was that we're going to have our gates, right? We have one gate there, we have another gate right there, and we'll have another one down there. And the idea was to have a unique name for each gate, because if I do believe in Central Park, each gate is named after something, like it's unique name for each gate. And so if we're naming things after fools, like this is 00 Avenue right here, of course, and that's X Avenue, that's X Road, that's 85th Street across there. So what if we did this? What if this is Stress Gate? So this is Stress Gate, this is False Gate. I can't take it, False Gate. Oh man, that's funny. Anyway, and then down over here, what if this is Dog Gate? Something along those lines. I think that could be really cool. Yeah, that's an excellent idea. So thank you guys so much for those suggestions. It is very much appreciated. So we've got to start putting on our creative hat and coming up with some ideas for how this gate is going to go. So this will be our first gate, and then we'll move on down here. Now, this is going to take some time, and this is our challenge for today. And this is a big one, so buckle up for this. We're going to build a gate across here. We're going to do a gate, but then in this area, we've got to make it like decorative. I want to add flower beds, trees. I want to add a bunch of detail, maybe a statue. We probably won't get to that. That'll take like the entire FoolCraft season to do a statue, but we'll definitely at least get the startings to all this done. So let me go get some supplies and we can get going on this project. Welcome back. And I took some time to lay out the design and kind of see where it's going to take us. So down below, I've designed the pathway leading up to potentially a fountain and or statue. And then we have the big, main entrance into the park. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to run these blocks kind of like this, as you can see. Now, originally, like I said, I wanted to kind of bring it along the edge here and then have it kind of come out to there. But making the fence on that angle is going to be a nightmare. So I decided against it. And I think in these little corner pieces right here, we could do something really nice with chiseling a bit flowers or bushes or trees, which I think will be really nice. Now let's fly on over here. And it looks like there may have been a little scar mistake over here. So let's see if we can actually fix that. There we go. Clean that all the way up. Awesome. And then let's run this across here. Wait, hello. Hello. Am I out of blocks? Oh, no, I'm not. Perfect. I was kind of worried there for a second. There we go. That looks good. So then let's grab out some papers here. We'll spread those on out. And then let's make these little columns here. So we'll get those guys going because I want the general shape of these things right there, of course, running along there. It just keeps everything kind of nicely symmetrical. There we go. Put that right there. Bring this all the way up. Awesome. So once we got these things all established in our last episode, now we can easily whip them in real quick. And this should be our final section for these. There we go. Put those last little pieces on top. Awesome. Okay. So we've got that established now. For our little walkway leading up, I want to use the general shape that we have for our sidewalks. So if we take these blocks, right, and we run these across here, you might be thinking, oh no, Scar, that's kind of lazy. You got to think of something different. And I have. We just haven't quite got there yet. So I do have a pretty cool idea. Now I was looking at, parks, Central Park, different things along those lines. And one thing I noticed was they do have kind of a sidewalk, concrete-like surface material for a lot of the walkways. But one thing it has in it is these kind of randomized, little spacer lines within it. And then there's a whole bunch of kind of grass growing in between them. And that looks pretty darn cool. I'm like, why can't I do that for my own sidewalk? And are we out of blocks? Yeah, well, we just made it. We just made it. And that's a good thing, by the way, because once we transition into the park, things will definitely change pathwise. I want to do some old cobblestones and things along those lines. But yeah, that's kind of amusing that they ended right at the gate. Anyway, this general shape is pretty good. So if we jump down here, we select, draw the regions. Very nice. And we'll run that on out like so. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to make up my own little pattern like this, right? And there's going to be these nice little spacer lines in some different directions, very similar to what I saw in a picture for Central Park in New York. There we go. And then inside these little spacer lines, we're going to figure out how to make some like grass growing through them. And I think that's going to look really, really cool. So say I run this one out to here, and I can take this and cross it like so. There we go. Just creating these little patterns here. No, don't need to be anything symmetrical or perfect or anything along those lines, but I think that is looking really nice. So we make a nice big one in the center like so. Oh, those look very nice. All right, so let's grab ourselves some of these. There we go. And one thing we need to think about for our interior of the park is what kind of trees are we going to use? So remember, keep the Central Park design ideas going in the comments and let me know of some ideas that you have, because I was kind of looking around at some trees in the fooling and of the crafting. Oh, this looks amazing. Let's actually go to draw the regions again. But what I was thinking was, what if, this is kind of a crazy idea, but what if it was fall time, right? What if we got those trees that have orange and red leaves and we did all the trees in that style within the park? And it was like a fall time, style of the park. I think that could be cool. It could be cool. We'll definitely think about it. I think it could be cool. Let me see if I can walk over these easily so it's not too annoying. They're okay. I think they'll be fine. We can definitely make some little bits of modification as we kind of go along. I'd like to add just a little bit more randomized pieces here and there, just so it doesn't look all perfectly symmetrical. There we go. Just giving it a little bit more of a thickness. There we go. Look at that. Very, very cool. And like I said, we'll add some more details here and there, but just adding these grass little pieces inside the spacer lines, I think look really, really cool. And I got a little carried away there, but you get the general picture of that, right? So let me keep going a little bit all the way down and I'll meet you as we try to figure out what that fountain and or statue may look like. What the heck? I'm like a walking bed. Look at this. Look at this. This is hilarious. I wish it would stick. Like, that would be great. Every once in a while, I feel like I can get it to stick for like a split second. I look like Jiminy Cricket from Pinocchio, and he's in his little matchbox. Oh my gosh, that is hilarious. Can you see it through the inventory? Hold on. I have to see. You can. Look at that. Look at that. Anyway, I'm sorry. I got carried away. I apologize. I also got carried away with this pathway. Look at this thing. Now, we have definitely got ourselves an upgrade. So what do you guys think? So originally, of course, we had it as the same material as the sidewalk. Then I thought, you know what? It really should be a different shade. So I added a little veneer on there. As you can see, let me push back here a little bit. As you can see, I've just added like 1 block on top of it just to see if we liked it. And of course, I expanded by 1 pixel the entire walkway, inserted some dirt, and then added a whole bunch more of the grass there. And I think that is a massive improvement, and kind of loving this thing. Like, I'm really, really loving this thing. So of course we can add a little bit more around the edges here, a little bit of grass and just a few pieces maybe kind of stuck inside the edges here. Why is that not doing the things that I want it to do? Come on now. Oh man, you're being a bit of a pain here, grass. I want you to be growing here. Wait, maybe it did grow in there. Oh, that's because sometimes these things have like transparent edges. Oh, all right. If you're going to be like that, that's fine. You can be like that. Also, I'm just adding a little bit of shadow right here. And it's something I've been adding a few places on the sidewalks. And of course, the painted white lines, you know, kind of lines on the streets and stuff. Just a little bit of shadow on the edges. And I think that helps with the very flat nature of the blocks. And just not to get too carried away, just a couple little simple lines here and there around the edges. And I think that really helps. Maybe even add just a little bit of water. But I want to know from you guys in the comments. Hashtag improvement or hashtag disimprovement? Unimprovement? There we go. Hashtag unimprovement. I just want to know, like, what do you guys think? Do you think I might have gotten a little too crazy with the design or maybe just right? I don't know. I want to know from you because I do like it. I don't like that. Not a big fan of what I just did there. I think that's messy. I'm going to clean that up. There we go. There we go. But yeah, no, I had actually had a ton of fun doing this. So I hope you guys thought this was an improvement. So what we need to do now, oh yes, I like this. So what we need to do, let's bring this across. Oh, hello. Easy there. Easy. There we go. Just a little bit around the sides there. Awesome. So what we need to do now, I keep getting distracted. I want to talk about what I need to do now, but I think maybe if I'm going to do this shadings on the sides, I need to like actually commit to it and do a lot more than I'm doing. So it's not like spotty, you know, just a couple spots here and there. But other than that, what we need to do is we need to round these edges off, right? So I'm not exactly sure how to do this. Say we replace that, go with the line tool. And wait, hold on there, Captain. There we go. And what if we just go across here like this and we bring this all the way across and then remove the excess in the center? That might be the way of doing this. How come? What am I doing wrong? Hold on. I'm sorry, I had to do that one more time. Oh, that's the end of the block. Oh, hello there. Did not know that. I wish there was a way of seeing these grid lines easier. I wish there was. Oh, hello. No, it's got to be like this. Okay, all right. So let's bring this all the way across, right? And then we're going to be able to see where we're going to take this. So let's bring that all the way to there. Okay. And then let's take this and we can take out the center. This is probably like 1,000 easier ways of doing this. And you're just shaking your head at me. You're like, oh, Scar. Oh, Scar, what are you doing? But let's bring this all the way down. Oh, geez, I'm messing things up. Okay, perfect. And then if I take this block, right? And if I bring this all the way across and intersect it to this point right there, I know, like I said, there's probably easier ways of doing this. And then if I add my little veneer on top, there we go. Bring that in there like so. Perfect. There we go. And then, of course, if we get out our papers, there we go. And then we give that just a little click. There we go. We hit the replace and we line that up. Boom. There we go. We're making progress today. Very nice. Oh, this is excellent. Making great progress. Okay, so let me do a little bit more magic over here and I'll catch you guys in just a second because got to make ourselves a little marquee right there. And there we go. We've got our pathway built up and ready to go. And I am in love with it. I'm really happy with the way it looks unique wise compared to the rest of the sidewalk. Now it's got the vines growing through the cracks, the dirt, and all those little details. I think came out pretty darn cool. It's not the easiest thing to walk on, but most of the fools will be flying on through. So now it's time to work on the gate. So as you can see, we've got the gate a little bit reorganized slightly, which I think is a little bit nicer. It'll be a little bit easier to work with, so I think that's good. Also, I've got the wrought iron on all these sides set up and ready to go. Now, what we got to decide at this point is how do we do these edges? So I think on this first part, we're going to cut out these bottom pieces. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a hold of this. I tried the middle mouse button those, but those are chisel blocks, so that's not going to work. Okay, I think we're on track here. I think we're on track. So we do something like this, and then of course we cut these out because we're trying to maintain close to the other styles as possible, but still maintaining somewhat of a unique shape. So then we'll take this block and we'll go 2 blocks up there. And of course we'll bring these up to here, and then we'll cut out these 2 sections right there. So at this point, we've got to figure out together how this is going to look. So I've come up with a few different areas of thought when it comes to this design. First one was that it was going to kind of slowly arch down, but I think I'm going to do that at the secondary gates over there. Now for this gate, oh guys, it's time. We get to do it again. Oh, we get to do it again. It's my favorite thing now on the server. Oh man, there's just something about being in that sleeping bag that just makes me laugh. Watch this, let's do it one more time. Okay, we gotta stop. We've got so much to do today. Okay, all right, we're back. I'm totally good. Okay, so I don't remember what we were talking about. When I go into that sleeping bag, I don't even know who I become. Okay, put that away. So we've got that shape, right? And like I said, I didn't want to do the sloping arch because we're going to do that at the secondary gate. So for this one, what I'm thinking is we're going to take some of that wrought iron and we're going to run it straight across. And then in the interior there, we are going to call it Fool's Park, right? So we'll call it Fool's Park or something, and then we'll do like a little archway above that with the wrought iron. I think that is our ticket to success. Now, as for the detailing of this, that's going to be a little bit more difficult. So we're going to have to figure that out. So let's actually start with these as we work our way upwards. So I kind of want to do like a nice little transition of some kind in this section and then kind of work our way out. The reason of course I use these 2 versions of this is because of that weathered look, and I wanted to maintain that shape. And then going up to here, right? What if, what do I use for these materials? Oh, it's that. If I had something slightly lighter than this material and I could use that as an accent on top of these sections, I think could look pretty cool. I think it's just going to be a lot of trial and error trying to figure out what looks good in terms of, you know, a pillar going upwards like so. So I think it's just going to take a little bit of time to really refine this. I think in some of these spaces we can, you know, of course, maybe even draw our regions. So we can bring that across. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. And we can run that up here, maintaining somewhat of, yes, there it goes. It's strange. Did you see how it kind of lit? Yeah, there it goes. It's like lighting up. There's a strange lighting glitch when it comes to that. So maybe bring it up to about there. So something like that. There we go. That's not half bad. I'm not entirely in love with this, but I think we're definitely getting somewhere. What if, just gonna throw this out there, just gonna get crazy right now, real quickly, don't worry. What if we put a little bit of brick behind there? What if there was a little brick behind there? I don't know. What does it look like with this? Which still could look really cool. Yeah, that's a little bit more in line with the rest of the design. And of course, we can then take that brick and use that as its rustic element. That's where, you know, some of this plaster is like peeling and crumbling away, revealing some of the inner, you know, bricks that make up the baseline structure of the pole. Okay, we've got that decided. I'm still not in love with this. I'm still not in love with that. I'm not sure what to do with it. So let's take it down for a minute and we'll figure that out. But I definitely like this shape. I think we can take this and really make it awesome. What if we kind of like, we could arch this up. That could look really cool. And then we could arch that up. BW's building company keeps flashing over there. I don't know. I think we're getting there. So give me some more time. Let me do a little bit more thinking. And once I figured it out, we'll do the little archway for Fool's Park. Progress update. Now, I've been playing around with a couple designs, as you can see. So the one on the left-hand side, that one gives off the vibe of kind of an LA park or something along those lines. Now, on the left, that's a little bit more in touch with what we're going for here, but I may take the design that we do have on the left and do it on those posts over there. So I'm leaning a little bit more towards the right-hand side here. Now, the top looks like it's teetering off, and also kind of looks like a chimney. Kind of looks like a chimney. Maybe we could put some smoke up there. But what if, this is just throwing this out there, what if we take this design right there and then move it a little bit closer to the center? That might look good, but on the other hand, it might not look like it's going to fall off if we have the gates and the marquee and all of those things attached. It might feel more balanced than it does now, not having those things. But I definitely feel like it is getting there. And oh my, it's getting dark. We can become Sleeping Bag Scar. Wait, oh no, how come I couldn't become Sleeping Bag Scar? Oh, well, maybe I just had too much fun, wore it out. Anyway, as you can see, what I'm doing now is I'm just bringing these things up there like so. There we go. And just kind of cleaning off the edges, kind of smoothing them off. And one thing that's really fun about this is just experimenting with different colors and shades. I wish I had more shades of this, like a lighter than this and maybe even a darker, I think would be really fun to experiment with. Let me go to the right materials. There we go. And it would be neat if we kind of did this maybe in the center. This is what I'm doing. Just back and forth, changing these designs, kind of seeing where they take us. I like that, but it doesn't quite fit with the general theme that we've gone with before, is having the lighters be the accent and the darkers being the primary kind of in the interior piece there. Whereas this one is the lights are the primary and the dark is the kind of accent. So I think I'll probably reverse those and I think it might actually look cool. But either way, I think that looks nice. I got to try it one more time, guys. Here we go. F5. Boom. All right, this way. There we go. All right, so let me sleep the night away and continue to work on that pillar. And there we go. We've got the final design of our 2 columns making up the entrance into Fool's Park. And I think that looks really, really cool. Got so much little detail on these things. They took forever to create, but I'm actually pretty pleased with them. Started to add some inner details here and there. Eventually we'll get the vines a growing. We'll get the trees and all of those wonderful things. But let's start working on the gate. So as you guys can see, I started kind of putting out some of the wrought iron. So we're going to start working on that a little bit more. So what I want to do is I want to do the gates, of course, in this little spot right here. Now, this gate isn't really a gate that closes or something along those lines because this is a public park, but it's got that same feel. So when I was looking at a lot of gates, some of them just had like the impression of a little like swinging gate. And that's what we're going to do right here. So I think that's going to look very nice. So, why don't we start with, you know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to go like this. So we're going to start on this block right there. And then each time I'm going to bring these up 1 additional block. And then from there we can evaluate and see where we want to take it from there. But bring that up there like so. Oh, hello there. I like that. I think that's actually pretty cool. What I might do is see the, oh, where did you come from? So I might go like this. So if I bring that one up, bring that one up, bring that one, and then I'm going to take this one and this. No, I was trying to do something tricky there, but it didn't quite work out. But I do like that. I like the little shape of it. I would love to get a couple more of these in there. Wonder if I can fit. So I'm doing a spacing of 3. If I threw one in there and then there will be additional 1, I'm just going to ballpark it. If it's over here, kind of squeezes the whole area up a little bit, but I still think it would be nice to have it there. So why don't we throw that in there? We'll just get up our regions and we'll draw that down a little bit. Oh, hello. You're not cooperating today. There we go. Cut that off. Beautiful. Okay. Oh, yes. I like that. I like that because of the height matches, of course, the spires on the other fencing. So yeah, I kind of like that. Anyway, let's move over here for a second. Let's move up to the top and let's go back to our line tool. And then let's see if we can kind of line these up so they're somewhat symmetrical. They don't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to be perfect at all. But I'm going to go up 1 block like so, and I'm going to run that outwards. And I think that is good. Now, this is where we're going to put the letters for the city. So I think that's going to be really cool. So of course, this is going to say Fool's Park. And then, like we mentioned earlier, that a lot of the gates, at least in Central Park, are specifically named. So there's like the Scholars Entrance or something along those lines. It's very strange. At least that's what I think it is. Just some very, very rudimentary Google searching. So if I'm wrong, you know how to let me know. There's a big comment field down there, but I still think it'll be pretty cool. So we're going to run these out. So like I said, we're going to have each gate named after a specific fool, or at least how many gates we have. We have 2 gates, and we're trying to name all the roads after fools, but I'm kind of running out of roads. So I think we're going to name 1 gate after stress, 1 gate after false, and we're going to take their kind of channel branding color-wise, and we're going to do the writing in those, because for the FoolCraft entrance, it's green, and we're going to do green, and I'm doing some color tests. So I think for like stress, her colors for her channel are usually kind of pinks and purples, so we'll choose one of those. And then for false, I believe it's like a light blue yellow, so we'll choose either blue or yellow. So I think that's gonna look really sweet. So basic design, starting to look pretty cool. It's very basic at the moment, very basic. So let's put down another block right there. Very nice. And we'll throw that in there. Oh, ho, ho, ho. It's nice to see things coming together. Look at that. All right, I'm very pleased with that. Now, what I want to do is I want to thicken it up a little bit. It's a little skinny. Gonna thicken it up a little. So let's actually go to connected material. Okay, I kind of see where it's going. So let me kind of throw together a couple more designs, and we'll see where we can take it. There we go. We've got ourselves a marquee. We've got an awesome iron gate there looking absolutely amazing. So let's kind of dive into the details. That gate kind of reminds me of the Haunted Mansion gate at Disneyland a little bit. And then of course we've got our marquee at the top. Now, what we're gonna do for our marquee is we're gonna take the green, which is kind of the green of the FoolCraft logo, and we're going to spell out Fool's Park up there, and it's gonna be amazing because we're going to name the city, of course, what we spoke about, kind of generally, just kind of Fool's Park. And that's going to allow us to take inspiration from Central Park in New York, which names gates kind of randomly after things. So that's what we're going to do for here, because we're starting to run out of roads to name after the fools. So we got to think a little differently into some other realms. So that's why we're going to name this one over here Stress Gate, and that one's going to be False Gate. And remember how we talked about channel branding colors? I was pretty spot on by memory, so I just want to point that out. So I was pretty proud of myself. So this one, of course, is stress, and that, of course, is false. Now, false has kind of the blue and yellow. Stress has pink and purple. And I think I'm going to go with purple and blue. I think those two go well, and of course, fit more in the city than yellow and or pink. So I think that's going to be really cool for both those gates. Now, as for dog gate, for Ren Dog, we're going to do that down here, but we're not going to do it today. We're going to do it once we build the city hall back there. And of course, we'll just spell out dog gate with red. I think that'd be really funny. So let's shoot back here and start working on this. So let's think about this. So let's get this out. Now, I was really considering maybe like trying to thicken up the actual lines, but I don't know how easy that's going to be. So I'm going to kind of hold off on that for now. And I'm going to start kind of building this up. This is more of just kind of a test, see if this is going to look nice or not. So if we pull this out to here, and oh, that's going to look amazing. Oh, that's very, very cool. Okay, so this one always gets me. So some of the letters are a little bit difficult to do in this pixel art format. So I have this nice little document a viewer sent me that helps me along the way. That's very, very kind of you guys, always looking out for Scar. So I think that looks good. Now this block, yeah, this one looks a little bit out of scale. So let's move that down just ever so slight. There we go. Pull that one out like that. There we go. That looks much nicer. I still kind of wish they were a little bit bigger, but most of these letters are fairly easy to do. It's just some of them like R's and S's sometimes, like just to get the right spacing and the right kind of orientation of the letters to look believable in, like, you know, a very pixelated form. It's a little bit difficult, but for the most part, it's pretty easy. There we go. Oh yes, that is excellent. And then of course, let's see. Yeah, I think that looks good. And then let's go like this. I'm trying to decide if it's going to be a one spacing between these things. Yeah, I think a one spacing is perfect. And of course we can run up our L. There we go. And I'm doing these all in capitals. I think it'll just look nicer. Oh, that looks excellent. All right, so let me finish this up. Let me get the park built up there, and we can start brainstorming how these two gates will look. Mission accomplished. We now have our 3 marquees up and ready to go for Fool's Park. So, of course, this is the one we were working on together. I'm still kind of adjusting fonts and things along those lines, but I'm getting fairly pleased with the way this is starting to look. And I just love the wrought iron up here. I think that's really, really nice. But let's take a look at the false gate and the stress gate. So let's move over here and take a look at this. Oh, that FoolCraft lag right there. But yeah, look at that. Doesn't that look really cool? So that's the stress gate, and I think the gate looks really, really nice built up around there. We have a really cool little marquee piece kind of floating above that, and then down the row here we've got the false gate. So this, of course, is the false gate, and I think that is looking really cool. So this is a unique design. Originally it looked like cat ears, but it didn't really make sense for the full park. Maybe it was the Scar Gate. So I just kind of moved around some of the pieces, and I think that looks really, really nice. And yeah, I think the colors, of course, coordinate towards their channel branding, so I think that's pretty cool. A little extra touch there. And yeah, I love this design. This looks like, hold on. This is actually really bugging me. Hold on. We're going to fix this together here. There we go. Something I forgot to do. There we go. Awesome. So yeah, I am very, very pleased with the way this has come out. So what I need to do is add a little detail under here, add the vines, and start coming up with how the interior of the park is going to go. But I just love adding these little elements to it because I really think that's what makes it special. You know, you can make a really nice design, but what makes it special? And I think kind of incorporating the other fools into the design, that's how we do it. Now, remember, we've got, oh geez, oh my gosh, so much lag. So laggy. Anyway, this of course is going to be Rendog's dog park entrance. And we'll get to that eventually once the whole city hall is built and ready to go. So yeah, this took 2 days, but I'm very, very pleased with how it all came out. I really hope you guys like these little marquees and gates and different designs along those lines. And of course, this little walkway right here, I think this is super unique and very nice looking. But until next time, this has been Good Times with Scar, and I always really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch my videos. And if you believe the video deserved a rating, that would be much appreciated. And until next time, we'll see you later. And don't forget to subscribe because you may just become scarred for life.